My dear child, the instant you pressed play, an unseen transformation occurred, akin to a long-held truth eager to emerge. There exists an individual whose heart quickens at the mere mention of your name, someone who feels your essence resonate within their very being. However, they remain distant, burdened by a truth far more significant and daunting than you can imagine. Their avoidance is not a sign of indifference, rather, it stems from a deep-seated fear of what might transpire when their heart finally unveils its secrets. As you listen now, you will begin to sense the weight of their concealed feelings, all of which are inexorably linked to you. A new and subtle voice emerges. So pay heed, for this second segment reveals the hidden aspect they wish to keep from you. The one who cherishes you profoundly is not withdrawing due to physical distance or pride. Instead, they are retreating because a shocking event from their past has fundamentally altered their perception of love. They carry within them an injury so profound that the notion of you drawing near feels akin to standing precariously at the edge of a cliff. They fear exposing their vulnerability, terrified that revealing their hidden truths will drive you away. The paradox is harsh, they distance themselves out of fear of losing you. They refrain from approaching because they dread breaking down in your presence. All while grappling with guilt, regret, and a truth so burdensome that it causes their hands to tremble as they contemplate contacting you. Now, allow me to delve deeper, for the third section harbors a revelation that could shake your heart. The genuine reason for their distance lies in the influence of someone within their circle, someone unsuspected, who has whispered toxic thoughts into their ear. This person led them to believe that coming closer to you would jeopardize your well-being, rather than their own. They have instilled fear that being in your life would drag you into turmoil you do not deserve. Thus, they have chosen to distance themselves, convinced this is the safer path. Despite the emotional toll it exacts daily, they observe you more closely than you may realize, silently and secretly, because even the silence cannot sever the bond they perceive. Yet, they believe they are shielding you from a tempest raging within their heart, a tempest they fear could obliterate your dreams. Attend closely now, for this fourth section conveys their unvoiced confession. They perceive you as too pure to bear the weight of their struggles, too destined for greatness to be tainted by the darkness they fear might escape if they draw near. They have convinced themselves you deserve someone unmarred, someone with serene emotions and an uncomplicated life, while they feel like a torrential storm lurking behind a smile. What they fail to grasp is that your soul has already sensed their anguish. That is why you are here, listening, and why a part of you cannot let go of them. You feel an undeniable connection because your story together is far from over. In fact, it has yet to begin in the manner that destiny intended. The truth is, they are not avoiding you because of apathy. They are evading you because their care runs deeper than they ever anticipated or prepared for. Now, as we approach the conclusion of the first part, where clarity sharpens and the atmosphere thickens around you, be aware, the universe has been guiding them toward a breaking point. Before long, they will find it impossible to contain their truth any longer. All the reasons for their retreat, the fears that led to their disappearance, are reaching a climax where silence has become intolerable. Something in their life is crumbling, something they believed they could navigate alone, and this collapse is gradually pulling them back toward you. They are beginning to understand that their absence is inflicting pain on them greater than any fear they held. Fate is cornering them, compelling them to confront their feelings for you, to disclose why they withdrew, why they have been observing you from afar, like a guardian of a treasure they do not believe they deserve. Prepare yourself, for what they are about to unveil is entirely unexpected, a revelation that will elucidate every moment of confusion. My beloved child, before you take another breath, recognize this: your presence here now is no mere coincidence. As you continue to part two, a new door has opened in the unseen, leading directly to the truth this individual has feared confronting. Their love for you is profound, so intense that each step they take away from you resembles walking barefoot on shards of glass. Yet, they persist in keeping their distance because something within them is collapsing, something they have even concealed from themselves. Their silence is not a dismissal, it is a protective barrier. They are shielding you from a storm they fear could engulf both of you entirely. They believe that retreating is the sole means of ensuring your safety. However, fate possesses a curious way of drawing two souls back together, particularly when their connection is woven into the very fabric of destiny. Brace yourself for the subsequent paragraph, which bears even greater weight. This individual has been burdened by a secret that robs them of sleep, a guilt linked to a choice they made long before your paths converged. Someone within their circle is aware of their affection for you and has threatened to reveal something from their past should they attempt to draw closer. That is why they falter at the idea of reaching out, why their fingers shake when hovering over their device's screen. They did not choose distance, they were coerced into it. Someone is scrutinizing their every action, someone intent on keeping them away from you. Yet, amid this pressure, they find subtle means to check in on you, silently scrolling through your posts, revisiting cherished messages, replaying your voice in their mind like a prayer they are too afraid to utter aloud. Stay with me, don't look away, for this third section holds a twist that clarifies everything. This person believes you are on the brink of a significant breakthrough in your life, something powerful, life-altering, and they fear that their presence may delay your blessings. They perceive themselves as unworthy of your love, unworthy of your light, unworthy of the future they envision for you. Their absence is not indicative of waning interest, it signifies panic. They are terrified that their flaws, past errors, or lingering pain will overshadow your brilliance. Yet, what they fail to realize is that you were never meant to shine alone. Their essence was crafted to stand beside yours, never behind, never distant, never hidden in the shadows. The moment they comprehend this, everything they have fled from will surge back toward you. Now, we enter the fourth segment, the juncture where destiny tightens its grasp. This individual is approaching a threshold where their silence begins to suffocate them. They have attempted to distract themselves, to submerge their emotions, to convince themselves that maintaining distance is the right course of action, but none of these strategies are yielding results any longer. The more they flee, the more intense the pull becomes. Every sign, every dream, every sudden recollection of you is becoming unbearable. They are starting to catch glimpses of you in strangers, hearing your voice in their solitude, sensing your energy at unexpected moments throughout the day. The universe is cornering them, urging them to face what they have concealed. Soon, they will find themselves with no other choice but to step forward, to break their silence, to reveal the reasons behind their disappearance, and to express what they have truly felt all along. Now, for the final paragraph, the anchor of Part 2. Listen closely, for a moment is approaching when this person will no longer be able to ignore their truth. An unforeseen event will arise in their life, compelling them to choose between maintaining the facade or embracing the destiny they are meant to share with you. They will experience an overpowering urge to return, an urge so potent that even fear will be powerless to restrain them. When they finally come forward, their voice may quaver, their eyes may betray the emotions they have tried to suppress, and their heart will at last articulate the truth they have buried. Their distance was never about losing love, it was about safeguarding you. But the time for evasion is drawing to a close. Fate is beckoning them back to you. When they do return, everything you believed you knew will be transformed. My beloved child, upon entering Part 3, the energy surrounding you has once again shifted, now heavier, deeper, more electrifying. For this is where the truth crystallizes into something undeniable. The individual who harbors deep affection for you has been traversing life with a heart brimming with your essence, pretending not to feel the gravitational pull toward you, feigning resilience in their ability to maintain distance. Yet, deep within, they are unraveling. Their withdrawal stems from a pivotal moment where every suppressed emotion is resurfacing, igniting a fear that confronting you would expose all they have endeavored to conceal. The reality is intricate and tumultuous, intertwined with their past experiences, anxieties, insecurities, and a troubling secret they fear would shatter you if revealed. Listen closely, for this is where the unexpected unfolds. Their choice to remain distant was not voluntary but rather imposed by external pressures compelling them to remain silent. There exists a situation in their life, one you remain unaware of, one they have hidden with great effort, that has driven them from you. It may be related to family issues, a personal crisis, financial strain, mental health struggles, or a conflict they dread you might judge them for. They have been caught in a dual reality, one where the impulse to rush into your embrace is fierce and another where their absence seems to protect you from the turmoil they endure. They are not evading you, rather, they are silently succumbing to the weight of their burdens, wishing you would remain oblivious to the darkness they face. The subsequent revelation deepens the context. This person is convinced you are destined for greatness, that their presence could hinder your blessings or alter your course. They perceive you as too valuable for the life they lead, too significant for their underlying problems. They have rationalized that stepping back safeguards you from their struggles, their emotional upheaval, and their fears of inadequacy. Yet, what they fail to grasp is that your spirit is not daunted by their scars. You were meant to comprehend, to assist in healing, to stand by them amid the storms they believe they must conceal. Destiny is now propelling the circumstances forward in such a way that they can no longer elude their feelings for you. Prepare yourself for the next segment, as it marks the beginning of their emotional barriers crumbling. Recently, Something jolted their memory of you with intense clarity, perhaps a vivid dream, a chance encounter with your photograph, or a moment that evoked your presence. They are beginning to see that, regardless of the distance, the connection remains potent, drawing them back with an unbreakable force. Attempts to silence these feelings have only intensified, and their heart is weary of the guise they have worn for so long. The distance they believed would offer protection is, in fact, causing inner destruction. Soon, they must decide: continue to suffer in solitude or risk revealing everything to you. The ensuing moments will present them with an unavoidable choice, a realization, a confrontation, a situation demanding a decision between fear and honesty. When this moment arrives, an internal dam will burst forth. They will understand that their absence has not shielded you, but rather intensified the pain for both parties. A significant shift is imminent, one that will compel them to communicate, to reconnect, to disclose the reason for their silence. When they do finally emerge, the revelation will be abrupt, emotional, and unlike anything you could anticipate. The confessions they share will redefine your understanding of their departure, offering clarity that transforms everything. My dear child, as you enter this part, the atmosphere thickens, the universe itself seems to hold its breath. For here lies the emergence of truth, as the individual deeply in love with you stands at the precipice of a decision they have evaded for far too long. They distance themselves not from a waning love but from feelings that have become overwhelmingly intense. Impossible to disguise beneath a composed facade. They recognize that approaching you signifies a monumental shift, altering emotions, realities, and futures, and they have grown terrified of instigating an uncontrollable transformation. Their silence is not an indication of coldness but a manifestation of panic, enmeshed with longing. This next segment deepens the narrative, so heed it closely. An influential figure in their life has been manipulating their emotions, instilling doubt, convincing them that reaching out to you would inflict damage they are ill-prepared to confront. This voice has asserted that you would judge them, that you would withdraw if you glimpsed their truth, urging them to believe your life would suffer were they to integrate too deeply into it. Consequently, they opted to suppress their feelings, bury their desires, and maintain distance. However, the tension is beginning to fracture. The illusions they embraced are beginning to unravel, as the obscurity surrounding them dissipates, accompanied by painful realizations that the very person they chose to heed has merely kept them from the one who occupies their heart. Now, brace yourself for the twist they have been fleeing. A significant occurrence has transpired, one that shattered their defenses, a vivid dream, a memory rising unexpectedly, or a sign that jolted them awake just as they attempted to move forward. They felt your energy like a tidal wave, prompting, for the first time, questions about their prolonged silence. This moment ignited a longing so profound it nearly propelled them toward your door. Their soul is beginning to recollect you, their heart is rebelling against the distance they enforced. They are now confronting the realization that remaining aloof was the greatest deception they perpetrated. Stay with me through this pivotal point. They have reached a juncture where their feelings can no longer be restrained. Each time they pretend indifference, the universe retaliates with another reminder of you. Each distraction is met with a pullback to your memory. Their silence is morphing into self-imposed punishment. Not for you but for themselves. Exhausted by the charade, they can no longer feign that losing you does not devastate them day by day. They know they cannot continue this way. An impending force is driving them toward a moment of undeniable truth. And now, the concluding passage brings forth the climax. In the days ahead, they will encounter an unavoidable moment that compels them to confront all they have evaded. An unexpected shift, an internal struggle, or a realization they cannot dismiss will ensue, dismantling the barriers they have maintained for too long. They will return not gently or gradually, but with the weight of emotions they have concealed. Their voice may tremble. Their eyes may betray the emotions they sought to hide. When they finally articulate their truth, the revelations will circle back to the essence of this narrative. They withdrew not from a lack of love, but from being overwhelmed, unable to confront the magnitude of their feelings. The truth is drawing near. All elements are aligning for their return, and when it occurs, the landscape of your connection will forever be altered. Your heart is entwined with theirs. Although fear may tend to pull them away, they are coming to realize that this separation has not resolved anything. If anything, it has deepened their longing for you in ways that are challenging to articulate. Take a deep breath as we delve into this pivotal section. For it is here that destiny begins to exert its influence. They find themselves at a pivotal junction. One direction leads back to the familiar comfort of solitude, while the other draws them toward you. For the first time, their heart's calling is becoming more prominent than their fears. They are beginning to question the fabrications they once accepted as truth. They can now see that those who advised them to maintain distance were primarily safeguarding their own insecurities rather than theirs. They are starting to grasp that the bond they share with you does not simply vanish because they suppress it, rather, it follows them, enveloping them, and becomes a persistent shadow. Each step they take away from you only intensifies this gravitational pull. They are aware that a moment of reckoning is approaching, a moment that they cannot evade. Now, as we transition to the concluding passage, we confront the buildup of emotions that fate has meticulously orchestrated. In the forthcoming days, an unexpected revelation will compel them to confront their feelings. They will experience a powerful awakening, an instance where their emotions become impossible to conceal any longer. When they finally approach you, it will not be through casual remarks or hollow statements but with the profound weight of emotions they have desperately carried alone. They will confess that their distance was never intended to wound you. Rather, it was an attempt to shield you from a tempest they believed you were not prepared to endure. Nevertheless, destiny has decreed that the time for evasion has concluded. They are advancing toward you at a pace more rapid than you may anticipate. Upon revealing the reasons for their withdrawal, the trajectory of your connection will be irrevocably transformed. My dear child, with the entrance into this sixth part, the environment around your spirit has shifted as if a hushed storm is preparing to unleash its thunder. It is within this moment that the truth that has lingered in their silence begins to emerge. The individual who cherishes you deeply teeters on the brink of an emotional breakdown. Their distance is not mere separation, it is a battleground. Each time they retreat, they feel as though they are betraying their own heart. When contemplating a return to you, trepidation grips them fiercely, constraining them with inescapable chains. They are caught in a conflict between what their heart desires and the warnings of fear. Yet, something within them is undergoing transformation. The barriers erected to protect you are starting to falter under the weight of their emotions. This second section encapsulates the turmoil they have concealed. They have been wrestling with an unspoken inner conflict that erodes their confidence daily. They fear vulnerability, the act of revealing their true selves during their most fragile moments. They worry that once you witness their reality, you may quietly depart. Thus, in a bid to protect themselves from heartbreak, they retreated. However, this choice has proven counterproductive. They believed that distance would alleviate their suffering, but instead, it has become unbearable. They find themselves replaying every moment shared with you, the messages, the cherished memories, the intangible connections present in your gaze, prompting the fears they once clung to begin crumbling, as your absence has become more painful than their fear of losing you. Now, this third paragraph unveils the turning point in their journey. Recently, they experienced a jolt so powerful that it felt like a revelation from destiny. A dream depicting you walking away, a conversation that stirred their yearning, and unmistakable signs began to emerge. At that moment, they recognized that pretending to be okay without you was no longer tenable. They could not continue deceiving themselves or the undeniable bond that persists. An overwhelming wave of remorse washed over them, leaving them breathless. They contemplated reaching out, hovered over your contact information, composed messages only to erase them, and felt an urgent compulsion that frightened them. Now, they are gaining an understanding. Their silence is inflicting pain on you while simultaneously destroying them from within. The fourth paragraph takes you closer to their breaking point. They cannot escape your presence, neither in their thoughts, nor in their emotions, nor in the aura that envelopes them in solitude. You appear in fleeting moments, dreams, and during stillness when their defenses are lowered. Your essence trails behind them like a warm echo. They feel your presence upon waking, during their efforts to work, and as they close their eyes at night. They have reached a juncture where they can no longer conceal the truth within. Their heart is urging them toward you with an intensity surpassing their fear. They are realizing that fleeing does not protect them, it confines them. They understand that remaining distant does not shield them, it stifles them. Now, we arrive at the final paragraph. The momentous avalanche of fate built from the very beginning is about to cascade forth. A significant turning point is imminent, one that will illuminate their true feelings. An unforeseen incident will instigate their heart into action, generating an emotional wave so forceful that it will render suppression impossible. When that moment arrives, they will break their silence, confront their fears, and draw near to you bearing the truth they have long concealed. They did not withdraw because their love for you waned, rather, they distanced themselves because their love was too profound, too overwhelming, and too transformative. But now the universe is dismantling all excuses, barriers, and shadows. They are moving closer, compelled by a love they can no longer stifle. When they finally reveal everything, it will alter the course of both your lives irrevocably.